wanted to talk to you today about scapular strength and stabilization. It's kind of the keystone to upper body strength. See, the majority of your upper body muscles are actually tied into the scapula. And what you're dealing with there is a stabilization mechanism. Think about where your upper body strength comes from. You're usually using your arms at the end of the lever, which is attached to your core, which is attached to your anchor, whether it be your feet or you're laying down or whatever. But your upper body strength kind of is attaching at the shoulders to your core. And dealing with the core, you're dealing with, a connection between the distal and the proximal. Your scapula is incredibly important there. It's important for maintaining the stabilization of your shoulders. Now you see, your shoulders are a ball and socket joint. It's a very mobile joint, but it's not a very strong joint. And we put a lot of strain and stress on it. You look at, a lot of bench press injuries come from poor scapular stabilization. Their scapula can't move very well. They're not tucking their scapula back. When they're pressing too high, putting all this tension on the shoulders. You see a lot of it in push-ups, you see it in handstand training, you see it in dancing, some of the break dancing and stuff. A lot of these guys are doing these risky maneuvers or heavily weighted maneuvers, complex maneuvers that require joint rotation and stabilization through the shoulder, and they're kind of forgetting about the scapula and its job. Now, what does the scapula do? Well, I should say the scapular complex. It's the whole shoulder blade moving in and out, and the muscular complexes that move the shoulder joint. It basically, shrugs and lowers your shoulders, flexes them back, and relaxes them forward. Now, when you think about that, of course, you've got lots of combinations. You've got rolling, twisting. That includes the humerus. It doesn't do a wide range of things, but it does a very important job. So when you start thinking about the strength of it, you're going to start thinking about, what are my shoulder blades doing when I'm exercising my upper body strength? If you're putting them under load, like doing dips or bench press or anything, if your shoulder blades start creeping up to your ears when you're doing dips, or if your shoulder blades are all pinching when you're bench press, it's not the right way. You're throwing way too much stress into the joint and the non-flexible tissues. So I'm gonna jump on the rig in a second and show you a couple of exercises you can do just to increase the stabilization. But I want you to start thinking of just back and down. It's kind of like sticking out your chest, all military style, but just back and down. You're really kind of just cementing the joint together so that when you press, you've got full stabilization, and you can press just isolating the muscles and not getting into joint damage. Also works with pulling. When you pull, are you just pulling with your arms? It's not very good, right? If you want to start pulling, you pull with your back. To get your back involved, you have to use your scapula. Your scapula are attached to your back muscles. So if you're pulling for rows, you're practically sticking out your chest because you're pinching the shoulder blades together. Same thing with the pull-ups. Pinching the shoulder blades together, bringing down chest to bar. So what I'm going to show you is a very intro way to get on the bar and start developing this. We're going to start from the ground up. Forget, if you can do 1,000 pull-ups, that's great. Can you do them with scapular stabilization? So what I'm going to show you is just two basic exercises. It's going to be pull-ups and dips, and we're going to see what we can do to stabilize and strengthen the scapular connection with the rest of your upper body strength. So I'm going to jump on the bar and we'll go through this. So there you have it. You've got a simple but effective way to work on the scapular strength and stabilization. It will help you develop your overall upper body strength immensely. But focus in on just the scapular contraction and depression. Don't worry about the other stuff for now. Continue doing your exercise routine as you do it, but take some time, to just go into depressing. You can also do it with, with push-ups. It doesn't have to be dips. It doesn't have to be hanging on the bar. You can even just do it just sticking out your chest and pulling the shoulder blades back and down. You can do it practicing a horse stance. Shoulder blades back and down, squeezing. Isometrics are great. You can do these isometrically, or you can do them as slow reps, or you can do them as fast reps. I don't really recommend going particularly fast. It's not anything that you're going to do for conditioning. Just really work on the strength. I recommend going slowly or working the isometrics. But yeah, that's all I got for you today. Good journey.